Hi everyone. So today we will do the final exam exercise. The final exam is comprehensive. This will be over all the chapters that you have learned in the class. Chapter 1 until chapter 20. So instructions for the best results of this exercise. Please study chapter 1 through chapter 20 before taking this exercise. Prepare some pieces of paper and pen or pencil to write your answer. There will be 2 or 3 seconds after each question to write your answer on paper before the answer key is given and explained. You can always pause the video if you need more time. After finish the exercise, check your answer, how many are correct and how many are incorrect. Repeat the process until you get 100% correct answers. Make sure that the 100% correct answer are based on your knowledge, not from your guessing. It is very likely that you will get a very good score on your final exam if you follow this instruction correctly. Okay, we start with number 1, true or false. Anatomy is science of body functions. Give your answer. It is false because anatomy is science of body structure. Number 2, physiology is science of body functions. True or false? Yes, it is true. Physiology is science of body function. Number 3, anatomy and physiology are difficult to separate because body function depend on body structure. True or false? Yes, it is true. So structure and function, they are related. Number 4. Many terms in anatomy and physiology are originated from, choose your answer, A, B, C, or D. Yes, the answer is C, which is Latin and Greek words. Number 5. Shivering body in cold weather is an example of what characteristic of life? A, B, C, D, or E? It is the responsiveness. Respond to the stimulus. Number 6. The passage of substances through membrane into body fluid is an example of what life process? A, B, C, D, or E? This is a process of absorption, okay, absorption of molecules into our body, into the bloodstream. Number 7, the movement of substances through body fluid is an example of what life process? A, B, C, D, or E? This is circulation. This is the job of blood to circulate or to carry or to move substances within our body. Number 8. Which of the following list best illustrates the increasing level of complexity? A, B, C, D, or E? Yeah, we start with the smallest one, which is molecules, and end with the biggest one or the most complex one, organism. So the answer is B, molecule. Cell will make tissue. Tissue will organize to make organs. Organs will work together to make organ system. And all organ systems in our body will make organism. Number 9, true or false? Based on the level of organization, skin is a tissue. True or false? No, skin is not a tissue. Skin is an organ. Number 10, true or false? Urinary bladder is in pelvic cavity. Yes, it is in pelvic cavity. This is below our abdominal cavity in the pelvic area. Okay, so this is the questions of the urinary bladder over here. Number 11, which of following organ is in thoracic cavity? A, B, C, D, or E? Yeah, in the thoracic cavity, we have the heart, the lungs. So the answer should be the heart. Number 12, which abdominal pelvic quadrants the gallbladder is located? A, B, C, or D? It should be on the right upper quadrant, on the right side, on the top. This is the gallbladder over here. Which abdominal pelvic quadrant the appendix is located? A, B, C, or D? Okay, it's going to be on the right, but lower quadrant. It should be here, right bottom quadrant. Number 14, which abdominal pelvic quadrants the spleen is located? A, B, C, or D? It should be on the left upper quadrant. So this is the spleen, okay, in the left upper part of our abdominal pelvic cavity. Number 15, urinary bladder is located in blank region of abdominal pelvic cavity. A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, there are 9 regions. The urinary bladder is in the hypogastric or pubic region. This is over here. Number 16, which plane separates the body into front and back portions? A, B, or C? Okay, front and back is frontal, so just on the name frontal or coronal plane. Okay, so this is the coronal plane. Fill in the blank. The term referred to a body part being below another part is blank. Give your answer. Yes, it is inferior, okay, below 2. Number 18, the process to maintain stable internal body condition is called, give your answer. It is homeostasis. Number 19, which process is an example of negative homeostatic mechanisms? A, B, C, D, or E? A. Negative mechanisms is when the stimulus up, okay, the response will be down. Or if the stimulus down, the response will be up. So opposite between stimulus and response. So it's going to be A, secreting insulin after meal will return the blood glucose to the normal. So when we eat, the glucose will increase, then we will produce insulin. Insulin will decrease the glucose level in the blood. What is meant by protein denaturation? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, protein is a peptide bonds, and also there is a hydrogen bonds in it. Denaturation is actually the hydrogen bonds will be broken. The peptide bond usually difficult to break, so hydrogen bond broken. Which the following is a decomposition reaction? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, decomposition means breakdown, so from bigger molecule to smaller molecule. In this case, from AB, which is bigger, become A and B, smaller molecules. 22. Which of the following nucleic acid has single strand of nucleotides containing the sugar ribose? A, B, C, D, or E? So single strand will be RNA. RNA, and it has R, which is ribose. 23. Which of the following illustrate a positive feedback mechanism? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, positive means when the stimulus increase, the response will increase. When stimulus decrease, the response will decrease more. Okay, so one direction. So look for the answer. The uterine contraction during childbirth is positive feedback. Okay. Until the baby born, then the uterine wall, smooth muscle will contract more and more. Which of the following organ is in the abdominal pelvic cavity? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, it should be the liver. Brain is in the cranial cavity, the heart and the lung, thoracic cavity. Spinal cord will be in the spinal canal. Which of the following disease is originated in the abdominal pelvic cavity? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, so we have to look for organ that's located in abdominal pelvic cavity, which is pancreas. So the disease will be pancreatitis, C. 26. Which of the following is a function of respiratory system? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, respiration is gas exchange. So look for that answer, which is exchange of gas, oxygen, and the carbon dioxide. 27. Which of the following is not part of male reproductive system? A, B, C, D, or E? Yeah, should be the uterus, because uterus is female reproductive system. Which of the following is not correct in anatomical position? A, B, C, D, or E? Yeah, the one is not correct is this one. The palm should face forward. 29. Based on directional term, the ears are blank to the eyes. A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, so the ears are lateral, the side. So the answer will be on the lateral to the eyes. Based on directional term, the chest or thorax is blank to the belly or abdomen. A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, so the chest above. So above means superior. So the answer will be superior. Okay, chest superior to the abdomen. Organs that are close to the surface of the body are called as blank organ. A, B, C, D, or E? Close to the skin or the surface is superficial organs. The mouth is blank to the nose. A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, the mouth is below to the nose. Below means inferior. So it is inferior. True and false. Chemistry is the branch of science that studies the functions of organs within the body. It is false. Chemistry is the branch of science that study about matter, composition, properties, and interaction of matter. Water is the most abundant organic molecules in human body. True or false? Yeah. Okay, so water is inorganic, so it is not organic. So this is false. Okay, it should be the most abundant inorganic molecules. Atom is the smallest unit of matter. True or false? Yes, this is true. The atomic number of an atom equals to the number of proton plus neutron. It is incorrect, so atomic number is only the number of protons. If it is proton and neutron, it is called the atomic mass. Protons carry positive charge. True or false? Yes, it is true. Protons and neutrons are located in the nucleus or the center of an atom. True or false? Yes, it is correct. It is true. Electrons are located on the shell of an atom. True or false? Yes, it is true. The shell is called the electron shell. Therefore, because this is the place for electron. An atom that loses electrons, such as calcium and sodium ions, are called A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, so electron is negative. So when they lose electron, this means that they become positive. So calcium is positive ion, sodium is positive ion. The positive ion is called cation. Cations are blank charge, A, B, or C. Okay, we just answered that question. So cations are positive charge. An atom that gains electrons, such as chloride ion, is called blank, A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, so gain electron means gain negative. So chloride ions will be negative. Negative ion is called N ion. So the answer is N ion. The bond that form of atoms that share electrons is called A, B, or C. Sharing electron is the covalent bond. The bond that form between sodium ion and chloride ions to make molecules sodium chloride or table salt is called A, B, or C. Okay, this is bond between ions, so it's going to be called the ionic bonds. What happens if sodium chloride or table salt is placed in water? A, B, or C? Okay, sodium ion, it has, as table salt or sodium chloride has sodium ion and chloride ion. In the water, the sodium and chloride ions will be dissociated. Okay. What is the atomic number of an atom that has 8 protons, 8 electrons, and 8 neutrons? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, atomic number is based on the number of protons. So it's going to be 8. What is the atomic mass of an atom that has 8 protons, 8 electrons, and 8 neutrons? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, remember atomic mass is the mass of proton plus neutron. So 8 plus 8 is 16. What is the valence cell? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, the valence cell is the outermost electrons shell of an atom. Okay. The first electron shell of an atom can only take maximum of blank electrons. A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, the first electron shell only take maximum of 2, and this is called the Duplet Rule. Okay, only 2 on the first electron shell here. The second electron shell and above of an atom can only take maximum of blank electrons, A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, the next electron cell after the first one, so the second, the third, the fourth, and etc., will carry maximum 8, and it is called the Octet Rule. Atom C, or carbon, that has 6 atomic number will have how many electrons in its valence cells? A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, the rule above an atom, the number of protons, so this is the proton number, will always the same as the number of electrons. So the answer will be 6. Okay, the question is on the valence cell. So C, it has 6. The first cell will only carry 2 maximum. And the outermost of the valence cell will carry 4. Okay, so the question is actually asking you the number of electron and the valence cell on the outermost, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer is 4. What's the maximum number of hydrogen atoms a free carbon atom can bind with? A, B, C, D, or E? So it's going to be based on the valence shell. So carbon has 4 on the valence shell, so it can bind 4 hydrogen. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Which of the following is correct about isotopes? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, isotope is they have the same atomic number but different atomic mass. Okay, maybe 6, 12, 6, 13, 6, 14. Okay, these are an isotopes. So the 6 is proton number, it's always the same. This one is atomic mass, which is proton plus neutron. So the one that changed is actually the neutron number. It has 6 neutron, 7 neutron, and 8 neutrons over here. So the isotopes, they have the same protons number, but different neutrons number. Which of the following is correct about isotopes? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, we already answered that. It's going to be difference in mass number because they have different neutrons numbers. Which of the following is an element? A, B, C, D, or E? Elements, it is only carbon. Okay, the other over here is going to be molecules. So the answer is carbon. Formula of H2O refers to A, B, C, or D. Okay, H2O means it has 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. So look for that one. The molecule that has 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. What is the most abundant molecules in the body? A, B, C, or D? The answer will be water. So water is the most abundant molecules in our body. Which of the following are the 4 major elements in our body? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, the answer will be, we have a lot of hydrogens, oxygen, carbon, and nitrogen. That's the major elements in our body. What is measured by the pH scale? A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, so pH means measuring this, which is hydrogen ions. H is hydrogen ion. So the answer is A. Solution that has equal number of hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion concentration is called A, B, C, or D. Hydrogens equal to hydroxide ions. This is water, right? Water is mostly neutral. So this is neutral solution. Solution that has pH of 7 is called A, B, C, or D. And the scale of pH is from 1 to 14. The middle is 7. And 7 is called as a neutral. So 7 is neutral pH. Solution that has high hydrogen ions concentration is called A, B, C, or D. Hydrogen ions refer to acidic condition. So this is acidic. Solution that has pH of 2.0 is called. So this is the scale 1 to 14. Neutral is 7. Below 7, like 2, 3, 4, 5, it is called acidic. This is acid. Higher than 7, like 8, 9 to 14, is called base or alkaline. Okay, so this is 2 is mean acidic. Solution that has pH of 10 is called A, B, C, or D. We just explained that this is going to be basic or alkaline. When placed in solution, compounds HCl dissociate into hydrogen ion and chloride ion. HCl must be A or N, A, B, C, D. Okay, just look at this. Any compound that dissociate into hydrogen ions will be acid. Okay, so this is acid. When placed in solution, compound NaOH dissociate into sodium ion and hydroxide ion. NaOH must be A or N, A, B, C, or D. Okay, just look for the hydroxide ion. Hydroxide means base. Okay, so hydrogen ions acid, hydroxide ion base. So the answer is base or alkaline. When placed in solution, compound NaCl dissociate into sodium ion and chloride ion. NaCl must be A, B, C, or D. A, it dissociated sodium ion, chloride ion. It is not hydrogen ion nor hydroxide ion. So if you see compounds like this, do not produce one of this, it is called the salt. Consider the reaction of HCl and NaOH produce NaCl and water. NaCl must be A, B, C, or D. It will be salt. So salt is substance that produced from formation of acid. Okay, if you put acid and combine with base, it will always produce salt, okay, and water. Okay, so sodium chloride is salt. It's made from acid and base. blood pH is strictly maintained between A, B, C, or D. Okay, this is the blood pH homeostasis between 7.35 to 7.45. Okay, average about 7.40. So this is a blood pH. A blood pH of blank is called acidosis. Okay, so remember the homeostasis 7.35 to 7.45. Okay, anything below this gonna be acid. Okay, it's called the acidosis. So look for that one. Okay, it will be this 7.0 to 7.2. This is some symptom of acidosis: fatigue or drowsiness, becoming tired easily, confusion, shortness of breath, sleepiness, and headache. Blood pH of blank is called alkalosis. Okay, just remember, Ben, this is the homeostasis. Okay, anything higher than 7.45 is called alkaline, alkalosis, which is gonna be this one. Okay, 7.55 to 7.65 alkalosis, and these are the symptoms of alkalosis: confusion, hand tremor, lightheadedness, muscle twitching, nausea, vomiting, numbness or tingling in the face, hands, or feet. Which of the following is true about organic compounds? A, B, C, or D? Okay, organic compounds always contain hydrogen, especially this one, okay, carbons and hydrogen. So carbon is the backbone of organic compounds, a lot of carbon, and there will be hydrogen that bind to the carbon. Okay, carbon and hydrogen. Which of the following is true about carbohydrates? A, B, C, or D? Okay, the name is telling you it has carbons and hydrate, which is water. Okay, and water is H2O. Okay, so hydrogen will always double compared to the oxygen. So look for that one. It contains carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, with hydrogen twice as many as the oxygen. A molecule that has formula of C6H12O6 is A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, this is carbohydrates. Okay, and carbohydrate, there are several types, whether monosaccharide or polysaccharide. And this is very simple because only have 24 atoms. So this is monosaccharide. It is glucose, simple sugar. The monomers or subunit of polysaccharides are A, B, C, or D. Okay, poly means many, saccharide means sugar. So many sugar. So many sugar will be composed of mono. Right? Mono means single saccharide sugar. So many monosaccharide will make polysaccharide. So the subunit is called monosaccharide. The monomers or subunits of protein are A, B, C, or D. Okay, so protein made of amino acid. So the subunit is called amino acid. The monomers of or subunits of nucleic acid, like DNA or RNA, are A, B, C, or D. A, DNA, RNA made of many nucleotides. So this is going to be the subunit. The monomers or subunit of triglyceride are A, B, C, or D. So this is, you see, this is glycerol. There are glycerol, and there are 3 fatty acid over here. Okay. So 1 glycerol, 3 fatty acids. That's the subunit. Fatty acid and glycerol. Lipids are A, B, C, D, or E. Lipids, they are insoluble. So it should be this one, insoluble in water. Another name for insoluble is hydrophobic or non-polar. So non-polar, hydrophobics, insolubles, lipids, they are the same things. The polysaccharides in human that are stored in liver and muscles are A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, the storage of sugars in human or an animal is called glycogen. If it is in plant like potato, it is called starch. Okay, so this is human, it's gonna be glycogen. Cholesterol and sexual hormones are A, B, C, D, or E. So they are lipids. Okay, they are fats. Which of the following organic molecules can undergo replications? A, B, C, or D? A, the one that able to perform replication is nucleic acid, DNA. How do DNA and RNA differ? A, B, C, D, or E? A, DNA is single-stranded. This is wrong. DNA is double-stranded. DNA consists of amino acid. It is wrong because protein. DNA is in the cytoplasm. This is wrong. DNA is in nucleus. DNA contain ribose. It is wrong. DNA is contain D, right? So the correct answer would be this one. DNA carry the genetic materials. RNA carry information for making protein. DNA is double-stranded. RNA is single-stranded. DNA is located in nucleus, RNA in the cytoplasm. The formation of glucose from water and carbon dioxide by green plant is an example of A, B, C, or D. Okay, so water is simple molecules. Carbon dioxide is simple molecules. It makes bigger molecule, which is sugar. Okay, so smaller molecule become bigger molecule is called synthesis. So this is example of synthesis. This is actually photosynthesis, okay, by plant. The breakdowns glucose into ATP, water, and carbon dioxide in the mitochondria is example of A, B, C, or D. Okay, glucose is bigger molecules. Okay, it is broken down into smaller molecules, water, ATP, and carbon dioxide. Okay, so this is bigger to smaller is called breakdown or decomposition or catabolism. What is the function of mitochondria? A, B, C, D, or E? Mitochondria is to produce energy, which is ATP. What's the function of mitochondria? It's the same question. A blank is a substance that dissolves in another substance, A or B. That dissolve is called the solute. Okay, solute like sodium chloride. It is a solid. When you put in water, it will be dissociated. Okay, so sodium chloride is solute. the water is the solvent. Water is blank molecule because it carries charge. Charge means polar, so the answer will be polar. Structure, blank structure of protein is the order of amino acid within a polypeptide chain. Choose your answer, A, B, C, or D. Order of amino acid, this is primary. This is primary structure. What is carbon dioxide? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, it is not atom because this is molecule, right? It is not element. This is not electrolyte. This is not a salt. This is actually the waste product of metabolic process. Okay, so this is byproduct. What is the correct sequence of cell cycle? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, start with the interphase. This is the most longer cycle, relax time, and then division, mitosis, and then produce the new cells, usually two, one become two cell. This is the mitosis and cytokinesis. Okay? So interphase, mitosis, cytokinesis. What is the correct sequence of mitosis? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, remember P on math. So that's the sequence of mitosis. Prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. Okay. Mitosis produces two daughter cells that are A or B. It should be identical. So cell that has 4 chromosomes, for example, it will produce 2 cells that also has 4 chromosomes. So it's going to be identical cells. What is the cleavage furrow? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, so cleavage furrow is constriction of cell before it is divided. Okay, this is cellular constriction toward the end of the mitosis. This is the cleavage furrow. Centromeres pull apart during what phase of mitosis? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, this is anaphase. So during anaphase, its chromosome will be pulled to its pole by the spindle fiber. Right? So during this anaphase stage, G1S and G2 are phases that occur during A, B, C, D, or E. Growth, synthesis, growth, it is during interphase. Okay, so interphase is the longest stage inside cell cycle. That's considered G1, synthesis, and growth 2. It will be followed the mitosis later. If a cell that has more solute concentrations is put in solution that has less solute concentration, which direction will water will go? A, B, C, D, or E? So you put cell in water. Okay, it has more salt over here. This is less salt. So the question is where the water will go. The water will enter into the cell, try to dissolve the salt. Okay, so the water will enter the cell. A process that releases water is called A or B. Release water is called the dehydration. So when water release, we become dehydrated. What is the substrates for enzymes amylase? Amylase, A, B, C, D, or E. Amylase break down the amylum. Amylum is a carbohydrate. What is the correct base sequence of nucleotides of an messenger RNA produced from DNA, which base sequence of TTGGAA? Okay, so just remember T will always pair with A, G will always pair with C. So T gonna be A, T gonna be A, C, G, T, T. So look for this. A, C, G, T, T. Okay, so this is DNA. If it is RNA, remember the RNA do not have thymine, but it has uracil. So change T with U. So this is the sequence of messenger RNA will be from this DNA sequence. What is the correct sequence of cellular respiration? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, cellular respirations will always start with the glycolysis. So look for the glycolysis. And after that, gonna be cycle, citric cycle, and the last one, electron transport chain. Glycolysis occurs in nucleus, cytoplasm, mitochondria, RER, or ribose. Choose your answer. Glycolysis is happening in the cytoplasm. Glycolysis is classified as blank phase of cellular respiration. A or B. Okay, during glycolysis, we do not need oxygen. So therefore, it's going to be anaerobic. An means no. Air means oxygen. Okay? So no oxygen during glycolysis. The aerobic phase of cellular respiration occurs in the A, B, C, D, or D. Okay, so aerobic is require oxygen. Remember, glycolysis do not require oxygen. Glycolysis in the cytoplasm. The aerobic phase will be happening in mitochondria. This is the electron transport chain. If a cell only produces 2 ATP from 1 molecule of glucose, the cell burns the glucose A or B. 2 ATP is very little because what? Because no oxygen at this time. Okay, so this is anaerobic. Okay, anaerobic cellular respiration, which is glycolysis. An ATP that has been used and released one terminal phosphate will change into A, B, C. Okay, T means 3. Okay, there are 3 phosphate. Okay, so ATP 3. When it is released one phosphate, it's become 2. 2 is D. Right? So ADP. When it is released again, then become AMP. M mean mono or 1. Which of the following protein molecules function as catalysts? Speed up chemical reaction? A, B, C, D, or E? Catalyst in our body is called enzymes. So enzymes are the catalysts. Which of the following is not basic type of body tissue? A, B, C, D, or E? A, tissue, epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue, nervous tissue. Bone is not a tissue. Okay, so there is no name. Okay, there are the main tissue are 4 types: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue, and nervous tissue. Which of the following type of epithelial tissue is suitable for filtration and diffusion? A, B, C, D, or E? This one should be simple, which is only 1 layer, and it has to be flat. Okay, so flat cell, simple squamous epithelial tissue like in the lungs. Which of the following type of cells are abundant in connective tissue? A, B, C, D, or E? Remember, connective tissue, they have fibers, and fiber produced by the fibroblasts. Okay, the answer will be fibroblasts. Which of the following type of connective tissue is found around the kidney, eye, and underlying organs? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, so this tissue is the one that protects the organ. It's a fat tissue. It's called the adipose. Which of the following type of cartilage is suitable for absorbing shock between vertebrae? A, B, or C? Okay, between vertebrae, there is a vertebral disc that actually made of a very strong cartilage. It's called the Fibro Cartilage. What is the name of the thick fluid produced by cells that lining the digestive and respiratory system? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, it's gonna be mucus. What's the function of blood? A, B, C, D, or E? Blood is for transportation, so transport the nutrients. Cardiac muscle is found in the wall of blank, while smooth muscle is found in the wall of blank. A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, so cardiac muscle will be heart, and the smooth muscle will be in the hollow organs like stomach. So heart, and this one stomach. Which of the following type of cells are found in nervous tissue and have supportive role to other resident tissue cells? Cell found in the nervous tissue that support other cell. It's called a neuroglia. Which of the following type of tissue are likely to reproduce? A, B, C, D, or E? The one that's really easy to reproduce is the epithelial tissue. So our skin will always replace because skin reproduce very fast. Okay. The same thing also with the connective tissue. They also will reproduce. If we have broken bone, it will be repaired. So A and B will be the correct answer. Epithelial tissue and connective tissue. Which of the following type of tissue are unlikely to reproduce? So when it is broken, it becomes scar. A, B, C, D, or E? And the one is not really able to reproduce is muscle and nervous tissue. Okay, so C and D are correct. The two main layers of skin are A, B, C, D, and or E. Okay, skin has epidermis and dermis. The skin layer that lack blood vessel is the A, B, C, D, or E. It is the epidermis. So when we have damage in the epidermis, there will be no blood because there is no blood vessel in the epidermis. Which of the following skin layer supplies the blood to the epidermis? It's going to be the layer under the epidermis, which is the dermis layer. Which of the following is not type of epidermal cell? A, B, C, D, or E. Okay. Epidermis has 4 types of cell: keratinocyte, melanocyte, Langerhans, and Merkel cell. This is bone cell, so this is not epidermal cell. Which of the following epidermal cell produce dark skin pigment? A, B, C, or D? Dark skin pigment is actually melanin. Okay. This is a protein called melanin that gives dark skin color. So the one that produces melanin will be melanocytes. Which of the following epidermal cell produce water repellent protein to protect water loss? A, B, C, or D? Okay, water repellent in the skin is called keratin, which is protein that protects us from dehydration. So keratin. So the one that produces keratin will be keratinocyte. Cyte means cell. Which of the following process replace the content of keratinocyte by the keratin? A, B, C, or D? It's going to be easy answer. The process is called the keratinization. A condition called blank results from lack of melanin. Okay, A, B, C, or D. So if someone lack of melanin, dark skin pigment, then gonna be white. All of his body gonna be white, and this condition is called the albino. Okay, albinism. A condition called blank results from lack of oxygen. A, B, C, or D? Okay, when our body lack of oxygen, like in the skin, for example, it's become blue. Science is blue. So cyanosis is the name for this condition. Which of the following is the primary function of epidermis of the skin? A, B, C, or D? Okay, skin protect us from water loss, chemical, physical, or pathogens enter into our body. Protection. What are the 2 types of skin? A, B, C, or D? Okay, it's gonna be thick skin and the thin skin. So thick skin in your palm and the sole. The rest of our skin will be thin skin. Thick skin will have 5 layers, and thin skin only have 4 layers. Okay, what are the correct sequence of the 5 layers of epidermis in the thick skin from top to the bottom? A, B, C, or D? Okay, so the top one is corneum, the bottom one is basilae. So look for this one, striatum basilae. So A, B, C, and then after corneum, under that is going to be lucidum. So look for lucidum. Okay, so it should be A. Corneum, lucidum, granulosum, spinosum, basilae. Which of the following epidermal layers does not present in the thin skin? Remember, thin skin only have 4 layers, not 5. Which one is not present? A, B, C, D, or E? The one is not present in the thin skin is stratum lucidum. Okay, lucidum only present in thick skin. Which of the following epidermal layer has skin stem cell that produce new cell via cell division or mitosis? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, it's going to be the bottom layer, which is basally. Okay, so this is the location for the stem cell for skin cell production. The membrane that separated epidermis from dermis is called blank membrane. A, B, C, or D. So this is under the base, basally. So the name is going to be basement membrane. The hair shaft consists of A, B, C, or D. So this consists of dead epidermal cell, which is the dead keratinocyte. So the hair consists of dead cell. Therefore, when we cut the hair, we don't feel anything. Hair follicles consist of blank, where the hair stem cell located for hair growth. Okay? So the hair follicle consists of blank, where the hair stem cell located for the hair growth. A, B, C, or D. It consists of the hair bulbs for hair production. So our hair, keeping longer and longer because of these cell divisions. Blood vessels that supply the skin are located in A, B, C, D, or E. Of course, it is not in the epidermis because there is no blood vessel over there. So will be in the dermis, and under the dermis layer is called the subcutaneous layer. So the answer will be B and C. The conical projection of dermis just deep to the epidermis that give fingerprints feature. A is called A, B, C, D, or E. So our fingerprint is actually based on this structure. Which one? The answer is the dermal papillae or papillae layer of the dermis. Nerve fibers that scatter in the dermis are associated with A, B, C, or D. And it's well associated with muscle, glands, and also the sensory receptor. Okay? It will order the muscle to contract, gland to produce oil or maybe sweat, and also to sense sensation like touch. Its nail consists of a nail blank overlaying a nail blank. So nail, we have what we call the nail plate above the nail bed. Skin carcinoma is developed from A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, carcinoma is non-pigmented. This is non-pigmented epidermal cell, maybe keratinocyte or other cell, but it's not melanocyte. Injection called blank are those that administer into the skin. A, B, C, or D. Skin. It's gonna be intradermal. Dermal means skin. Intradermal injection. A small knob-like feature on a bone is called it is called process or tuberosity. Okay, like this bone over here. Okay, so this one is process. Which of the following cell is not a type of bone cell? A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, of course, we already learned that this one is in the skin, so this is not the bone cell. The other four is going to be bone cell. Which of the following bone cell build the extracellular matrix of the bone by restoring calcium? A, B, C, or D. Okay, the easy way to memorize when it is built, then look for B also. Okay, so this is the osteoblast. You can call him Bob. Okay, so Bob the builder, osteoblast. Which of the following bone cell break down the extracellular masses? So break down the cellular matrix of the bone by taking out calcium. A, B, C, or D. Okay, so we can relate to this C over here, osteoclast, plus Bob, builder, class is the destroyer. You can say cat. Cat destroy a lot of things in our house. So osteoclast for the one that break down the bone. Which type of bone formation or osteogenesis does not have secondary ossification, causing the bone to be mostly spongy bone? A or B? The one that do not have secondary ossification is this intramembraneous ossification, and it will make flat bone with many spongy area. Okay, so intramembraneous ossification. From its shape, which of the following is mainly used for movement rather than protection? A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, so the one that protect mostly flat bone. So our head, our cranium is flat bone. Our thorax, rib is flat bone. That's for protection. But the question is, which one is mostly for movement? It's gonna be the long bone, like our femur, our humerus on the hand. They're all mostly for movement. Which of the following bones is in the pectoral girdle? A, B, C, or D? A, pectoral girdle consists of clavicle and the shoulder blade or scapula. So clavicle and scapula, which is A and B. Osteoarthritis is developed as a result of damage to the A, B, C, or D. Okay, it is located in the joint. So there are two bones that join together. In each end of the bone, there will be cartilage. It's called the articular cartilage. So when it is broken, then it will have osteoarthritis. Usually older people will have this condition. Which of the following gives strength and flexibility to the bone tissue? Strength, flexibility. A, B, C, or D? It's going to be the collagen. So collagen gives strength. The calcium over here gives hardness. Okay, so bone is hard because of calcium, but it is strong because of the collagen fibers. A long canal or space in the diaphysis of long bone filled with the yellow bone marrow is called A, B, C, or D. It is called the medullary cavity. Which of the following is type of joint in cranium? A, B, C, D, or E? In cranium, we have 4 types of joint, which is called suture. Okay, so coronal, parietal, squamous, sagittal. So all of this. Which of the following suture join the frontal and parietal bone? Okay, frontal over here and the parietal on the top. So what type of suture is this? A, B, C, or D? So it's gonna be this one, frontal or coronal suture. Which of the following suture join the 2 parietal bone? So if it is the head and the top, there is a suture that connect left parietal bone and right parietal bone. What is the name of the suture? A, B, C, or D? Okay, it's divided into left and right. It's going to be sagittal. Which of the following describe a female pelvis? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, it's going to be all above. The female coccyx is more movable, is wider, right? And also the sacrum curve will be less curved compared to male. And the distance between ischial spine is greater. So this is all the characteristic of the female pelvis. With pelvic bone supports the weight of body when sitting. A, B, C, or D? This is the ischium part. When we're sitting, the ischium will be holding our body. The branching bony plates like antler located in the spongy bone is called A, B, C, D, or E? It is called trabeculae. How many carpal bones are contained in each upper limb? So carpal, this is wrist. How many wrist bones? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, we have 8 bones in our wrists. How many tarsal bones are contained in each lower limb? So this is ankle. A, B, C, D, or E? In the ankle, we only have 7. Okay, so 7 bones. Which of the following bone is not included within the lower limbs? A, B, C, D, or E? So lower limb, we have femur, tibia, fibula, and patella. Ulna is in the upper limb, so ulna is the answer. Which of the following bone is not included within the upper limb? A, B, C, D, or E? Upper limb, we have humerus, radius, ulna, scaphoid. The one is not is femur. Femur is in the lower limb. Where blood cells are produced in adult? A, B, C, D, or E? It is in the red bone marrow of the bone. Okay, red bone marrow. Which of the following substances can be accumulated in the and has potential to be harmful? Okay, it is accumulated in the bone. A, B, C, D, or E? Of course, strontium. Strontium is heavy metals that can cause problem to the bone. How many bones make up the human skeleton? So total, how many? A, B, C, D, or E? It's going to be 26. Okay, 206 total bone. How many bones make up the human skull? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, our skull contains 22 bones. How many bones make up the human vertebrae, the backbone? A, B, C, D, or E? We have 26 vertebrae. What is the longest part of long bone skull? A, B, C. So this is long bone. What is the longest part over here? It is called the diaphysis or shaft. Which vertebral area has 7 bones? A, B, C, D, or E? It is on the neck area or cervical. So cervical have 7, thorax have 12, lumbar 5, sacral 1, coccyx 1, total 31. I'm sorry. Total 26. Okay, so 26 vertebrae. The connective tissue that attaches muscle to the bone is called A, B, C, D, or E. Muscle to the bone is called tendon. Which of the following muscle has stripes? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, both skeletal and cardiac muscle have stripes. Okay, A and B. Which of the following muscle has no stripes? A, B, C, D, or E? Of course, it's going to be the last one, which is the smooth muscle. Which of the following muscle contract voluntarily? A, B, C, D, or E? Only skeletal muscle contract voluntarily. Okay, if we wish to contract this muscle, we will be able to do it. Okay, this is voluntary muscle. Which of the following muscle contracts involuntarily? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, the one that we are unable to control is cardiac muscle. It will contract by itself. We cannot stop it. And also smooth muscle. Okay, they will contract automatically. So it's going to be B and C. What is the alternative name of a muscle cell beside myocyte? Okay, A, B, C, or D. So muscle cell is also known as myocyte. It's also known as fiber or muscle fiber. Okay, so sometimes it's also called myofiber. Which molecule in muscle cell is used to regenerate ATP? It is called the creatine phosphate. It actually storage of ATP in muscle cell. Small sustained muscle contraction that effect of repeated nervous stimulation is called A, B, C, or D. It is called the muscle tone. So there is a repetition over here. Continuously contract is called the tone, muscle tone. A single muscle contraction in response to a single nervous stimulation is called A, B, C, or D. It is called the twitch, and usually this is not meaningful. Okay, you can twitch of our eye, for example. It's just one contraction. What happens if a muscle has lost its innervation? A, B, C, or D. Okay, it's gonna be never been used. It's gonna be smaller. It's called the atrophy. Okay, the muscle becomes small. The functional unit of muscle fiber that consists of myosin and actin to perform muscle contraction is called A, B, C, or D. Okay, so the functional unit is called sarcomere. Which structure in sarcomere bind to actin during muscle contraction? A, B, C, or D. Okay, sarcomere is mostly content of actin and myosin, so the one that bind the actin is called the myosin. What is the name of anaerobic breakdown of glucose in cytoplasm of a muscle cell? It's called the glycolysis. So only produce 2 ATP. What is the product of anaerobic breakdown of glucose that will enter the citric acid cycle? A, B, C, or D. It is called the pyruvic acid or pyruvate. Using the muscle name as a clue, where is the tibialis posterior muscle located? A, B, C, or D. So posterior means on the back, so it's going to be on the back of tibia. Tibia is our leg. Okay, so it is back of our calf. Which structure is part of liver system? A, B, C, D, or E. So it has fulcrums, it has force, the rigid bar, which is the bone, and the load or resistance. So it should be all of them. Using the muscle name as a clue, which action done by flexor carpi ulnaris? A, B, C, or D. And it's going to be flexing ulna, which is the wrist. So flex the wrist. Which of the following muscle elevates the corner of the mouth? A, B, C, or D. It's going to be muscles in our cheek, which is zygomaticus. Okay, zygo means cheek. Part of tendon attached to movable bone is called blank, while the one that attached to immovable bone is called A or B. So movable is insertion, immovable is the origin. So it's going to be insertion and then origin. The term for structure formed by a motor neuron and all the muscle cell it stimulates is called, so one motor neuron plus all the muscle cell that innervate by this one motor neuron is called A, B, C, or D. It is called the motor unit. The thick filament of sarcomere is called blank, while the thin filament is called blank. Okay, so just look for the thin. This can be the same name, thin. So actin. So the thick one will be myosin. Okay, myosin here, actin here. Compared to smooth muscle, the skeletal muscle contract A and relax blank. A, B, C, or D. Okay, the skeletal muscle will be contract more rapidly compared to the smooth muscle, and also it will relax more rapidly. Okay, so the smooth muscle is actually really slow contraction. The reddish color of skeletal muscle is due presence of A, B, C, or T. Okay, just remember red is carried by the protein, it's called globin. Like in the blood, there is hemoglobin. In the muscle, there is myoglobin. Which of the following muscle extend leg at knee? A, B, C, D, or E? Extends will be the muscle on the thigh, on the femur. It's called the rectus femoris. With like smooth muscle contraction in GI tract is termed A, B, C, D, or E. So this is during digestion. The smooth muscle of GI tract will perform peristalsis. That's the name of the smooth muscle contraction in the GI tract. Layer of connective tissue that separate and protect each individual muscle is called A, B, C, or D. Layer of connective tissue. It is called the fascia. Which of the following muscles? This is incorrect question. So we skip this one. Which of the muscle has many nucleus per cell? A, B, C, or D, or E? So the one have many nucleus will be the longest one. Nucleus, 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 which is, this is the skeletal muscle. The muscle tones or tension that is formed without actual movement is called A or B. Without moving the object is called the isometric contraction. Which of the following muscle has sarcoplasmic reticulum that is less well developed? A, B, C, D, or E? Of course, this is the cardiac muscle and the smooth muscle. Skeletal muscle has a very developed sarcoplasmic reticulum, so B and C. The two main types of cell of nervous tissue are A, B, C, D, or E. And it's going to be neurons and neuroglia. Neuron is the player. Okay, neuroglia is the supporter. Part of neuron that is branched like sensory process that provide the main receptive surface for communication is called A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, so this is the diagram of neuron. It has three parts. The first part is called dendrite. The second part, where the nucleus is located, is called the cell body. And the last part, the longest part, is called the axon. So the one that receives information is the dendrite. The cell body will process the information, and axon will carry that response or order. Part of neuron that has long fiber that provide the main surface for action potential or conduction to travel for communication is called A, B, C, D, or E. And again, it's gonna be the longest part over here, which is the axon. Which of the following axon would have the fastest conduction speed, A, B, C, or D. Okay, so the one that have faster conduction speed will be having a layer called the myelin sheath. The bigger the myelin sheath, the faster it's going to be. Okay, the myelin sheath on the axon. So it's going to be the large myelin, large diameter axon. Which of the following axon would have the slowest conduction speed? A, B, C, or D? So this is going to be a neuron that do not have the myelin sheath in the axon. So unmyelinated and small diameter. It's going to be the slowest one. Axon or nerve fiber that have myelin sheaths appear blank in the central nervous system. A, B, C, or D. As the myelin sheath color is white, therefore the area is called the white matter. White matter telling us there is axons located on that area. Okay, so this is white matter, white matter, white matter. So this one is white, white, white. This one is gray, and on the brain side is gray. So this is the process. Part of neuron that do not have myelin sheath appear blank in the central nervous system. We're just telling you it's going to be gray matter. This is where the cell body located. So this is the processing center. The gaps in the myelin sheath is called A, B, C, or D. It's called the nodes of Renfield. Okay, so the gap between the myelin sheath. The type of neuron that has single process extending from the cell body is called A, B, C, or D. Okay, there are three types of neurons based on structure. One of them called the unipolar neurons. So it has one axon, and this is dendrite, and the cell body here. So this is the unipolar neuron. Okay, so this one. This is bipolar, and this is multipolar neuron. Which of the following glial cell produce myelin sheath in the brain and spinal cord? A, B, C, or D? Okay, the one that produces myelin sheath is called the oligodendrocytes. Which of the following glial cell form membranes that line the enclose the space of the brains and spinal cord? The cell is called the ependymal cell. This is the one that produces the CFS and also membranes that protect the brain and spinal cord. The two main structural divisions of the nervous system based on structure. Okay, it's going to be CNS and PNS, central and peripheral. The central nervous system consists of A, B, C, or D. So central will consist of brain and the spinal cord. Brain and spinal cord. The four main parts of the brains are A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, brain has four main parts: cerebrum, the symphalan, cerebellum, and the brainstem. The part of the brain that control emotional experience is called A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, emotional brain is the limbic system. The part of the brain that controls sensations, actions, memory, reasoning, and other higher cognitive function is the A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, it's going to be the biggest part. It's called the cerebrum. The part of the brain that coordinates voluntary muscle movement or skill is the A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, this is the one that's located at the back. It's called the cerebellum. The complex structure of the brain that awakens cerebral cortex is called A, B, C, D, or E. It is called the reticular formation. Sometimes it's called the RAS. Okay, reticular activating system. This is the one that will awake the cortex. It is located in the brainstem. It's located here. The three main parts of the encephalons are A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, the encephalon consists of thalamus, hypothalamus, and epithalamus. In the spinal cord, the structure that carry sensation from receptor to the brains are called A, B, C, or D. Okay, so this is from receptor to the spinal cord up to the brain. So it's going to be up. Okay, what is up? Ascending. Okay, this is ascending track. The spinal cord, in the spinal cord, the structure that carry order from the brain to the effector, such as muscle, are called A, B, C, or D. Okay, brain to the spinal cord is going to be down. So down is descending. When you raise your hand, what structure carry the impulses, orders from your brain to your deltoid muscle? A, B, C, or D. A is going to be called the motor neuron, okay, carried by the descending tract. So descending tract carry order from the brain. The simple nerve pathway in the body is called A, B, C, or D. This is the simplest pathway from receptor, CNS, effector, will be called the reflex arc. Okay, so it's just go to the spinal cord without going to the brain. It's very simple, very fast. The peripheral nervous system, or PNS, consists of A, B, C, or D. Case will be consist of nerve, which is the cranial nerve and the spinal nerve. The bundle of nerve that carry sensation from receptor to the CNS are called A, B, C, or D. So carry sensations will be sensory nerves. The bundle of nerves that carry responses from the CNS to the effector is called A, B, C, or D. So response is action or order, okay, or motor. Okay, it's gonna be motor nerve. The bundle of nerves that carry both sensation and responses are called A, B, C, or D. Of course, it's carry sensory and motor nerve. It's going to be called the mixed nerve. The sympathetic chains of ganglia are located close to the A, B, C, or D. So this is sympathetic chains. Okay. So it is spinal cord. There's going to be a lot of sympathetic chains next to the spinal cord, very close. Okay, it's going to be next to the spinal cord. The concentration of sodium ions is higher blank in the cell, while potassium, the concentration is higher blank the cell. Okay, so sodium will be more outside the cell, outside. Potassium will be inside, so outside, inside. Due to repeated stimulation, a neuron will increase its release of neurotransmitter in response to a nerve impulse. What it is called? A, B, C, or D. This is called the facilitation. Neurotransmitters that hyperpolarize postsynaptic membranes are always, so hyperpolarized will become more negative. It's going to be inhibition or inhibitory neurotransmitter. If it is more positive, it's become excitatory. But this is negative, is inhibitory. Neurotransmitters that depolarize postsynaptic membranes are always, so depolarized will cause positive changes. A, B, C, D, or E. We just mentioned that it's going to be excitatory neurotransmitter. How many extrinsic eye muscle that control the movement of each eyeball? A, B, C, D, or E. If it is eyeball, then there is one muscle, another group of muscle, another one, and on the top, on the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extrinsic muscle. Which of the extrinsic muscles rotates the eye downward and away from the midline? A, B, C, D, E, or F. So the top muscle will make the eyeball to see upwards. This is the nose. This is going to be medial, lateral, superior, inferior rectus, superior oblique, inferior oblique. Okay, the one that turns or rotate the eyeballs gonna be superior oblique. Rotate the eyeball down. If rotate the eyeball up, it's gonna be superior oblique. The accessory eye organs that produce tears are the A, B, C, D, or E. Tears is called lacrimal. Okay, so it's going to be lacrimal gland. The three main layers of the eyeballs are A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, the three main is going to be fiber, vascular, and the inner layer is retina. The retina is the blank layer of the eyeball where blank are located. I just mentioned that. Okay, A, B, C, or D. Just mentioned that retina is the inner layer, okay, where the photoreceptors are located. The two main types of photoreceptors are A, B, C, or D. There are two types: rods, which is for black and white fissions, and cone for color. Okay, there are three types of cone: blue, red, and green. The type of photopigment found in the rods of the retina is blank photopigment. Rod. Okay, rod is black and white. It has rhodopsin pigment. Blue, red, and greens will be in the cones. The three types of photopigment found in the cones are A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, I just mentioned that there are three pigments in the cones: blue, red, and green. So A, B, C are correct. Part of the retina where cones are located is the A, B, C, or D. Okay, more cones will be located in the fovea centralis. This is the area for our focus. Deficiency of vitamin A could cause A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, vitamin A deficiency will make us difficult to see during the night. It's called the night blindness. Okay, nyctalopia. List the component of the middle vascular layer of the wall of the eye. A, B, C, D. Okay, vascular layer will consist of choroid, ciliary body, iris, lens, and the pupil. The three main parts of the ear are A, B, C, D. Yes, it's going to be the outer ear, the middle ear, and the inner ear. The auditory tube runs between the throat and the A, B, C, or D. Throat and the middle ear. The otitis media is a bacterial infection of the gland, which is spread from the throat. Remember throat, A, B, C, D, throat connected to the middle ear. So that infection will be in the middle ear. Hair cells of the spiral organs are located in the blank and depolarize in response of sound. A, B, C, or D. It is located in the basilar membranes of the cochlea. 2-4. What structure contains the receptors for sense of hearing? And hearing is located in the spiral organs or cochlea. Okay, the organ looks like a snail spiral. Where is the spiral organ located? A, B, or C? Yes, I mentioned about the cochlear over here, so it's going to be in the cochlear duct. Where are the taste receptors located? A, B, C, D, or E? Taste will be in the mouth, which is, there is a group of taste buds on our tongue. Where are the smell receptors located? A, B, C, D, or E? Of course, it's going to be on the nose and in the area called the nasal epithelium. The ability to the nervous system to become less responsive to maintain stimulus is called A, B, C, D, or E. It is called the adaptation. Somebody who wears strong perfume enters the classroom. However, the odor quickly fades away. What feature of sensory reception have you experienced? This is the sensory adaptation. What type of receptors do not undergo sensory adaptation? It's gonna be smell will be gone, taste will be gone, hearings become lower, touch sometimes gone, pain will always there. So this is the one that is not adapted. Muscles, spindles, and Golgi tendon organs are example of what class receptor? So tendons, muscle, joint, A, B, C, D, or E. This is for movement, is called the proprioceptor. How is sensation differ from perception? A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, just remember, perception will be in the brains and the productions. So A and C are correct. So sensation region of brain receive information from sensory receptor, and then the brain will give us the perception, which is the awareness and conscious awareness of this sensation. So A and C are correct. Chemically, there are two types of hormones, blank and blank. A, B, C, or D. Okay, there are two types, water-soluble and lipid-soluble hormone. Which of the following hormone is water-soluble hormones? A, B, C, or D. Okay, so estrogen is fat, progesterone fat, this is fat, so this is lipid. Okay, this is lipid-soluble hormone, so the one that is water-soluble is insulin. Which of the following hormone is lipid-soluble hormone or steroid? A, B, C, D. Sex hormones are lipids, soluble hormones, so testosterone. Receptor of lipid-soluble hormone or steroid are located A or B. Okay, for the lipid-soluble hormone, like steroid, it changes our gene. So gene is located inside the cell. So it's going to be inside the target cell. Receptor of water-soluble hormones are located A or B. Of course, it's going to be outside the cell, on the cell membrane. Okay, water-soluble hormone do not change our gene, so the receptor will be outside. How a steroid hormone produces their effects? Steroid hormone, lipid, A or B. Okay, receptor is inside the cell in the gene, so it's going to be activate the gene. How a water-soluble hormone produces their effects? Okay, it's going to be activating the protein kinase in the cytoplasm. The type of hormone that targeting the neighboring cells are called neighborings, A, B, C, D. Neighbor mean para, so it's going to be the paracrine. Cholesterol is the building block of which hormone group? A, B, C, or D. Okay, it's lipid. Steroid is lipid. So cholesterol is actually make a lot of steroid hormone. Okay, estrogen, testosterone, they are steroids. During a thyroidectomy, a surgeon inadvertently removed parathyroid gland from the patient. What is likely consequence of this error? A, B, C, or D? Okay, so parathyroid hormone produced by the parathyroid gland is to increase calcium in the blood. So if the parathyroid gland is removed, then the blood calcium will be dropped. Okay? So parathyroid hormone to increase calcium. What hormone is produced by alpha cell of pancreatic islet? A, B, C, or D? Okay, pancreas has 4 types of cell. Alpha produce glycogens, beta produce insulin, delta produce somatostatin, and the F cell produce pancreatic polypeptide. So alpha produce glucagon. What hormone produced by the beta cell of the pancreatic islet? A, B, C, or D? Already mentioned that beta is the one that produces insulin. Which endocrine gland produce androgen? A, steroid hormone. A, B, C, or D? A, of course, it's not thyroid, it's not parathyroid, it's not pineal gland. It's going to be the adrenal gland. Which hormone increase calcium level in the blood? A, B, C, or D? Okay, we just mentioned that. It's going to be the parathyroid hormone. Which hormone decrease calcium level in the blood? A, B, C. So this one is increased. The one that decreased is this one, calcitonin. Which hormone decrease glucose level in the blood? Of course, this is very famous, right? A, B, C, or D? It's going to be the insulin. Which hormone increase glucose level in the blood? A, B, C, or D? Okay, the one that decrease insulin, the one that increase will be this one. Okay, glucagon. Which hormone stimulate production of immune cell? A, B, C, or D? A for calcium, decrease calcium, insulin, decrease glucose, glucagon, increase glucose. So it should be this one, thymosin, stimulate immune system. During which phase of stress response are controlled by nervous system? A or B? Of course, it's going to be the alarm system. This one is controlled by the endocrine system. During which phase of stress hormone is controlled by the endocrine system? A or B? We already answered that resistant phase. When comparing the nervous system and the endocrine system, which of the following applies to the endocrine system? A, B, or C? Okay, just remember, endocrine is going to be long-term effects. So long-lasting effect and has more widespread reaction. It's going to be B. During which phase of stress response amino acid used to make glucose? A or B? Okay, of course, this is during longer stress, okay, the resistant phase. During which phase of stress response is ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone release? A or B? Hormone, resistant phase. During which phase the stress hormones cortisol is released? A or B? Again, this is hormones. It's going to be resistant phase. What hormone stimulate protein synthesis, promote fatty acid release from adipose tissue, and stimulate glucose formation from non-sugar sources? A, B, C, or D? It's going to be stress hormone. It is not insulin. It is not growth hormone. This is for reproduction. So the answer will be the cortisol, stress hormone. A hypersecretion of cortisol might result in which of the following effects? A, B, C, or D. It's going to be depression of immune system. So longer stress causing us to be easy to get disease. Which of the following hormone protect against dehydration? A, B, C, or D. Right. Of course, insulin for blood, this is reproduction, this is for growth. The one that retain water is ADH. It's protect us against dehydration. Too much drinking alcohol could inhibit production of A, B, C, or D. It's going to be ADH. That's the reason why if you drink too much, it's going to be pee and sweat a lot. Okay, because ADH is inhibited. Which of the following hormone produced by anterior pituitary gland that affecting reproductive system? A, B, C, or D. Okay, this is for skin. This is for adrenal cortex. This is for growth, and this is for sexual organs, okay, like ovary and testicle. So FSH. What is the example of organ that has mixed functions as an endocrine and exocrine gland? A, B, C, or D. Okay, of course, you know pancreas produce hormone and also produce enzyme. So pancreas is mixed organ. Which endocrine gland is directly controlled by hypothalamus of the brain? A, B, C, or D. Right under the hypothalamus, there is a pituitary gland. So this is the one that will be controlled by the hypothalamus. Blood is a type of blank tissue. A, B, C, or D. Blood is a connective tissue. The two main components of blood tissue are A, B, C, D, or E. It's going to be the foam elements or cell. Okay, red blood cell, white blood cell, and platelet, and the blood plasma as a matrix. Which of the following are the foam elements of the blood? Cell of the blood. A, B, C, D, or E. In the blood, we have red blood cell, white blood cell, and the platelet. So the answer will be A, B, C are correct. Which of the following proteins are present in the blood plasma? A, B, C, D, or E. So blood plasma carry albumin, globulin, fibrinogen. So A, B, C would be correct. What is the normal ratio of foam elements and plasma in the blood? A, B, C, D, or E. So normally 45 cell and 55 plasma. That's a normal ratio. 45, 55. Which of the following is the function of the red blood cell? Erythrocyte. A, B, C, D, or E. This is the main function of erythrocyte or red blood cell, carry oxygen. Which of the following is the function of the white blood cell or leukocyte? A, B, C, D, or E. Of course, leukocyte is for fight against infection. Which of the following is the function of platelets or thrombocytes? A, B, C, D, or E. Of course, is help us to stop bleeding. Which of the following protein in the red blood cell binds and carry oxygen? A, B, C, or D, or E. Is called hemoglobin. Globin is the one that carry hemoglobin blood. Okay? globin in the blood. This is the one that carry oxygen. Which of the following protein in plasma helps blood clotting and stop bleeding? A, B, C, D, or E. So in the plasma, we'll have protein called the fibrinogen. It will help us to stop bleeding. Which of the following measure the concentration of red blood cell in the blood? A, B, C, D, or E. And it is called the hematocrit, measure the red blood cell concentration. Low hematocrits or low red blood cell counting indicates A, B, C, D, or E. Of course, it's anemia. High hematocrits, high red blood cell counting indicates A, B, C, D, or E. And the opposite of anemia is here, polycythemia. Low leukocytes, white blood cell counting indicates low leukopenia means low, so leukopenia. Leuko is leukocyte, white blood cell. High white blood cell counting, like leukocytosis, indicates A, B, C, D, or E. If we have a lot of white blood cell, it means that there is a infection. Which of the following is the most abundant type of leukocyte? A, B, C, D, or E. Neutrophil will be the most abundant one, about 70%. Okay, 55 to 70% are neutrophil. Which of the following the least number abundant type of white blood cell? And the least one is basophil, less than 1%. Very, very few. Which of the following leukocytes account for 1% to 3% in the white blood cell? A, B, C, D. Of course, it is not this one. Too much. This one is too little. So it's the eosinophil. Which of the following leukocyte has cytoplasmic granule that appear very dark blue in the basic stain? A, B, C, or D, or E. So baso means blue. So it will be basophil. Which of the following leukocyte is phagocytic, has segmented lobe or nucleus, and account for more than half, 55 to 60% of circulating blood? So this is the most abundant one. A, B, C, D, or E. We already answered that one. The most abundant one is neutrophil. What term is used for formation of blood? A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, blood formation is called the hematopoiesis. Hema is blood. What term is used for formation of red blood cell? A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, it's going to be erythro red blood cell, and poiesis is formation. What is the average lifespan of an erythrocyte red blood cell? A, B, C, D, or E. It's about 120 days. Okay, which is 4 months. What would be found on the surface of red blood cell in individual with blood type A? Okay. A, B, C, D. It's going to be easy. On the red blood cell, it will have the antigen A. Therefore, the blood type is A. What would be found in the surface of red blood cell in an individual with blood type of AB? A, B, C, D. course, both A and B. Okay, it will give the AB blood type. What would be found in the surface of red blood cell in an individual with blood type of O? A, B, C, or D. So O will not have A, will not have B, so should be this one. What would be found in surface of red blood cell if an individual with blood type B is, of course, gonna be this one. What type of antibody would be made in the plasma of individual with blood type B? So B have antigen B. Okay, A, B, C, or D. So if you have antigen B, then you will not make antibody B. You will make the antibody A. So this is opposite. Antigen and antibody will be opposite in individual. What type of antibody would be made in the plasma of individual with blood type A, B, C, D? So it's going to be antibody B. Okay. What type of antibody would be made in the plasma of individual with blood type AB? Remember, it has antigen A and B. A, B, C, or D. Of course, it will not make antibody A, it will not make antibody B. So it's going to be neither. What type of antibody would be made in individual that have blood type O? A, B, C, D. So O do not have antigen A or B, therefore it can make both A and B. So it will be C. During blood typing, Patrick's blood was agglutinated with anti-A and anti-B. What is Patrick's blood type? So this means that it has antigen A and antigen B, so it's going to be AB. During blood typing, Patrick's blood was agglutinated with anti-A, but it was not agglutinated with anti-B. What is Patrick's blood type? A, B, C, or D? So it's only agglutinated with A. It means that it has antigen A, then it's going to be A. Which blood type is known as universal donor? A, B, C, or D? So donor will not have antigen, so it's going to be O. Okay? O is universal donor. Which blood type is known as universal recipient? A, B, C, or D? So recipients, universal recipient will not produce antibody, which is type AB. So AB can receive any blood. If your blood type is A, from which donor can you receive blood transfusion? A, B, C, or D? Okay, if you are A, then you can receive from A, right? And you can receive from the donor, which is universal donor is O. So A and O. If your blood type is AB, from which donor can you receive blood transfusion? Okay, so A, B, C, D, or E. Remember, AB do not have antibody, therefore it can receive from AB, from A, from B, or from O. So all blood type. What is the only possible scenario of having HDN, hemolytic disease of newborn? A, B, C, or D? Okay, the only scenario is the female, the mother should be negative, and the father should be positive. So this is the answer. Membranous sac that enclose and protect the heart is called A, B, C, D, E. A is called the pericardium. The valve that separates the right atrium with the right ventricle is called A, B, C, or D. Right atrium, right ventricle, it has 3 cups, so it's going to be 3, okay? Tricuspid valve. The valve that separates left atrium with the left ventricle is called A, B, C, or D. Between left atrium, left ventricle only have 2 cuspids, so it's called the bicuspid or mitral valve. The blood vessel that transfer blood toward the heart to the heart are called A, B, C. To the heart is called veins. From the heart is called the artery. So the answer will be veins. The blood vessel that transfers blood from the heart, A, B, C. Yeah, I just mentioned that. It's going to be the arteries. The left ventricle contracts and pumps the blood into A, B, C, D. From the left ventricle, the blood will go to the aorta. Which one is not a branch of aorta? So aorta, okay, from the heart, from the left side, A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, the first branch is going to be called the coronary artery, right and left. And then brachiocephalic artery. Okay, and then subclavian artery. Okay, the one is not, should be the pulmonary artery. Which of the following vein drains blood from the face and the scalp? A, B, C, D, or E. It's going to be on the neck area. It's called the external jugular vein. Blood flows that travel from the heart to the lungs for gas exchange is called A, B, C, D. Lung is pulmo, so it's going to be pulmonary circulation. What is the function of systemic circulation? A, B, C, D. Okay, systemic circulation will bring the rich blood to the whole tissue. Okay, so this is the systemic circulation. What is the function of pulmonary circulations? A, B, C, or D? A is bring the poor blood to the lungs, because in the lungs, this poor blood become rich by adding oxygen. Okay, so poor means no oxygen. Contraction of the heart is called A or B. Contraction is systole. The alternating systolic and diastolic blood pressure is called A, B, C, or D. It is called the pulse. We can sense it, okay? We can feel it. The volume of blood discharged from ventricle with each heartbeat is called, it is called the stroke volume. It's about 70 milliliter every stroke, every beat. During ventricular contraction, how are position of the valves? A, B, C, or D? Okay, of course, the atrioventricular valves will be closed. Okay, you will not want the blood to go back to the atrium. Okay, it will be closed during contraction. Which of the following blood vessel has the lowest blood pressure? A, B, C, D, or E? the lowest blood pressure will be in the veins. In the EKG, electrocardiogram, what often represent the P wave. Right? So the wave is like this. This is P, this is QRS right here. Okay? QRS. It's gonna be this is T wave here. So the P wave is the polarization of the atrial muscle. Now QRS, which is the highest wave over here, will be depolarization of ventricular muscle. Which of the following is not a risk factor of atherosclerosis? A, B, C, D, or E? Not. Tobacco increase, obesity increase, high blood pressure increase, lack of physical exercise will increase the risk. The one is not is the diet. Carbohydrate diet is okay. The two basic mechanisms of defense against pathogens are A, B, C, D, or E. It is called innate and adaptive. Innate, we have it since we were born. Adaptive will be made after we encounter the infections or maybe vaccination. Which of the following is not innate, non-specific defense? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, so we have this since we were born, so it should be innate. Inflammation is innate, chemical barriers is innate, phagocytis is innate, antibody production is actually adaptive. Okay, so this is the one that's not innate. Which of the following is an example of mechanical barriers? A, B, C, D, or E? This is chemical, this is chemical, this is chemical, this is not mechanical. This is gonna be the mechanical barrier, the skin structure. Which of the following is an example of chemical barriers? A, B, C, or D? Inflammation is not hair, this is structure, this is structure, this is not. Interferon is chemical. So this is the chemical barriers. What is the stimulus for interferon production? A, B, C, D, or E? A, when the cell infected by virus or maybe tumor cell, then interferon will be produced. What are the most active phagocytic cells in the circulating blood? A, B, C, or D? So there are 5 white blood cells. The one that is very active is neutrophil, of course. And the second one is the monocyte. How is the job description for phagocytic action of neutrophil and monocyte? A, B, C, or D? Okay, monocyte for bigger, bigger bacteria. Neutrophil is for smaller bacteria. So it's going to be A. Activation of components protein result in several effects, including opsonization. What is the opsonization? A, B, C, or D? Opsonization is enhancing the phagocytic of antigen. Okay, so an antibody is attacked to the antigen, causing the antigens like bacteria to be easy to be eaten by the neutrophils or monocyte. The adaptive mechanism of defense, also known as A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, it is known as specific defense and also known as the third line of defense, and it is actually produce immune system. So this is immunity. So A, B, C are correct. What type of immunity developed in response to the contraction of infectious disease? So after we have infectious disease, we have this immunity. What do you call it? A, B, C, D. Okay, because infections, this is going to be natural cause. So this is natural, and it will produce active immunity, long-term immunity. What type of immunity develop after injection of antibody or anti-serum? This is not vaccination, okay? This is injection of antibody. A, B, C, or D. Okay, injection will be artificial, because this is antibody, it's gonna be passive, and artificial passive. If it is vaccine, it's gonna be active. What type of immunity develop after vaccination? Oh, just mentioned that. A, B, C, or D. Vaccination is injection, which is artificial. And because this is vaccine, it's going to be active, long-term. So active means long-term immunity. Passive is short-term. What is the function of T lymphocyte? A, B, C, D. T lymphocyte is cellular immune responses. It means that it will kill the virus that inside the cell. Okay, so it's killing the cell. So cellular immune response. What is the function of B lymphocyte? A, B, C, or D? B lymphocyte produce the antibody. Okay, so it's going to be the humoral immune response. Which of the following antibody, immunoglobulin or IG, is the most abundant in the blood circulation? A, B, C, or D. The one is most abundant one is the IgG, 80% in the blood. Which of the following antibody, immunoglobulins or IG, is the most abundant in the exocrine secretion, like sweat and saliva and tears? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, it's going to be IgA. So a lot of IgA in tear, saliva, or sweat. The primary immune response results in production of A, B, C, D, or E. The first encounter, it will make us to produce the IgM. Later will be IgG. So IgM is the primary response. The next one, the secondary response is result in production of A, B, C, D, or E. I just mentioned that, so IgG will be the second response. What type of cells are targeted by the HIV? A, B, C, D, or E? So HIV kill the T cell, helper T cell, TH. And also it's actually kill the macrophage. Dental caries or cavities are mainly caused by metabolism of carbohydrate in the mouth by certain bacteria to produce blank condition. A, B, C. It will cause the acidic condition in the mouth. Digestive system consists of two main group organs that are the A and B, okay, blank and blank. A, B, C, D, or E. Right? It's called the GI tract or alimentary canal and accessory organs. Which of the following organs is part of the accessory organs? A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, so mouth is alimentary canal, stomach is alimentary canal, intestine, alimentary canal, anus, bone canal. So liver is the accessory organ. Which of the following organ is part of the alimentary canal or GI tract? A, B, C, D, or E. We just mentioned its mouth is part of the alimentary canal. This is organ, this is organ, this is accessory organ, accessory organ. Which of the following is the correct sequence of organs that form the alimentary canal or GI tract? A, B, C, D. Okay, so of course start with mouth, and finish with anus. So anus, anus, anus. Before anus is rectum, rectum, rectum. After mouth should be pharynx first. So after mouth is pharynx. Okay, so it will be this one. Where does peristalsis occur in the alimentary canal? A, B, C, or D. Again, it is from the pharynx to the anus. There will be peristalsis movement of smooth muscle. Which of the following is the correct sequence of layer within the GI tract alimentary canal from inside to outside? A, B, C, D. And inside is called the mucosa, and the outside is serosa. So mucosa, muscularis, and then serosa. Which of the following phases of swallowing is voluntary? A, B, C, or D? Okay. So the one that voluntary will be the tongue pushing the bolus or food to the pharynx. Okay. So this is involuntary, this is involuntary, this is involuntary. So this is the answer. Which of the following enzyme digests the carbohydrates? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay. Pepsin is for protein, this is protein, this is lipid, this is another protein. So this is one for carbohydrate. And this is for starch. Digesting the starch, amylase. The sweet taste of bread in the mouth is due to the digestion of starch into smaller sugars by the A, B, C, D, or E. Because we already answered that, is amylase, and because this is located produced by the saliva, it's called the salivary amylase. Which of the following enzyme digests lipids? A, B, C, or D? Already mentioned that, so this is for carbohydrate, protein, protein, protein. This is the one that helps lipid digestion. Which of the following accessory organ produce salivary amylase? A, B, C, D, or E? This is easy question, so it's going to be salivary glands. Which of the following accessory organ produce bile salt? A, B, C, D, or E? It's going to be B, liver produce it. How about the gallbladder? Gallbladder is storage for bile salt. So this is just a storage. So liver is the answer. Severe liver damage would mainly affect the digestion of which nutrients? A, B, C, or D? Liver produces the bile salt to digest the fat. So this is going to be the one that will be affected if the liver is not working properly. Jaundice, which is characterized by the yellowish of the skin and white of the eyes, is due to the increased blood concentration of A, B, C, or D. Jaundice is mostly because of liver damage, and what happens? The bile will be going back to the blood. So the bile pigment will be increased in the blood circulation. Which of the following hormone is produced by stomach to increase the secretion of acid from the gastric gland? So hormone produced by the stomach, A, B, C, or D. So stomach is gaster, so that's the name for stomach. Then the enzyme name will be gastrin. Which of the following hormone is produced by duodenum or small intestine to stimulate the release of pancreatic juice from pancreas? A, B, C, or D. So this one is produced by stomach. This one is hormone produced by pancreas. Okay, so A or B? The answer will be A. The deficiency of enzyme blank will cause lactose intolerance. A, B, C, D, or E. Of course, the name is telling you this is lactose. The enzyme will be lactase. So someone that have lactose intolerance, they actually do not produce lactase. Healthy BMI, body mass index, is A, B, C, D. Okay, it's going to be 19 to 24. This is going to be underweight, overweight, obese. An overweight person would have BMI between, we just answered that question. This is the overweight. A person with body mass index over 31 is considered as, yes, obese. Which of the following is the correct sequence of respiratory tract organs of the respiratory system? A, B, C, or D. Okay, start from the nose to the lungs. Okay, the second one should be pharynx, nose, pharynx. The next one is larynx. Outer larynx is going to be trachea. So this is the answer. What is the main function of respiratory system? A, B, C, D, or E? Yeah, already mentioned, respiratory system is gas exchange, oxygen, and carbon dioxide. Which of the following organ is part of the upper respiratory system? A, B, C, D, or E? So upper would be from the nose and the pharynx. It's going to be, this one is going to be lower, right? Lower respiratory tract. Which of the following organ houses the vocal cord? A, B, C, D, or E? The larynx. This is the one that have the vocal cord. What type of tissue form the lining of the nasal cavity? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay. For the respiratory tract, except the lungs, then they will have the pseudo-stratified ciliated columnar epithelial tissue. Okay, so the ability to remove dust from the tract by this cilia. What type of tissue from the wall of the alveoli? A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, alveolar for gas diffusion is going to be squamous and simple. Simple squamous epithelial tissue. During inspiration, what does air move into the lung? Why? A, B, C, or D? Okay, the lung pressure is actually decreased. Okay, so when the pressure decreases in the lung, then the air will go to the lower pressure area from the atmosphere to the lungs. During normal quiet inspiration, the contraction of blank causes air move into the lung. A, B, C, D, or E? Okay, normal breathing will be mostly performed by this diaphragm muscle. the muscle that separate thoracic cavity and abdominal pelvic cavity. Now, how about during forceful expiration? When we breathe out, very, very strong, A, B, C, D, or E, we will need help from the abdominal muscle. The volume air remains in the lung after forceful expiration is called A, B, C, or D. Of course, remain means residual. Okay, so it's going to be residual volume. Which respiratory pattern will increase the amount of fresh air entering the alveoli? A or B? Okay, the one that increase amount of fresh air entering the alveoli should be slow and deep respiration. Take a deep breath, right? What factor will cause an increase of breathing rate? A, B, C, or D? Okay, because the increase of carbon dioxide will cause us to breathing more because we need to replace this carbon dioxide with oxygen. Okay, so increase carbon dioxide. How is oxygen transported in the blood? So this is oxygen. A, B, C, or D. So 98% will be in the hemoglobin and only 2% in the plasma. How is the carbon dioxide transported in the blood? A, B, C, or D. Okay, 70% will be as the bicarbonate ions, 23 in the red blood cell in the hemoglobin, and only 7% in the plasma. So it should be this one. The pressure, partial pressure of oxygen in the blood in the systemic capillary is blank. Then pressure of oxygen in the pulmonary capillaries, A, B, or C. So in the blood will be lower compared to the lung. Therefore, oxygen will go from the lung to the blood. This is higher, lower pressure. The PCO of pressure of carbon dioxide of the blood in the systemic capillary is blank to the pressure of carbon dioxide in the lungs, A, B, or C. Of course, it's going to be opposite. So it's going to be higher in the blood compared to the lung. The respiratory disease characterized by the degeneration of alveolar walls is called A, B, C, D, or E. So this is the characteristic of emphysema. The alveolar wall is broken down, so it's going to be difficult to breathe and take oxygen. Emphysema will cause increased rate of gas, A, B, C, or D. Of course, it's decrease the movement of air into the alveoli. And then it will decrease the rate of gas exchange. Okay, the correct answer should be this one. So this is not correct. So decrease the movement of air into the alveoli because the alveoli is broken down. The most common form of lung cancer originates from what cell type? Lung cancer, A, B, C, D, or E. Of course, it's going to be from the epithelial cell. Which of the following is the correct order of organs of the urinary system? A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, start with kidney and end with the urethra. So from kidney to urethra should be this and this, okay? And before urethra, there is a bladder. Right? So should be this one. The major region of the kidney are the outer regions called, and the inner regions called. A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, the outer is called cortex, and the inner is called the medulla. Okay, so cortex and medulla. The functional unit of kidney is called that produce urine independent. A, B, C, D, or E. It is called the nephron. In average, each kidney contains how many nephrons? A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, there are 1 million per each kidney, so 2 million total. The two main components of the nephrons are A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, it's going to be corpuscles and the tubule. The first step of uniformization is A, B, C, or D. Okay, of course, with filtration first. It's called the glomerular filtration. Glomerular filtration is done by A, B, C, D, or E. It's going to be done by this renal corpuscle. The two main components of renal corpuscle are A, B, C, D. It is called glomerulus and the glomerular capsule. The composition of glomerular filtrate is like plasma, but A, B, C, D, or E is going to be lacking a larger protein because the larger proteins will be filtered. Okay, will be not in the urine. An increase of protein diet would lead the increased concentration of which of the foreign molecule in the urine? A, B, C, D, or E. It will increase the urea in the urine. Protein mostly consists of urea amino acid. Water absorption from proximal tubule or PCT is closely linked to an active absorption of what? A, B, C, or D. Of course, it's going to be sodium. Right? Sodium absorption. Water will go with sodium. At rest, approximately some percent of blood plasma passing to the kidney is filtered. How many percent in average? At rest is 20%. What blood vessel delivers blood to each glomerulus? A, B, C, or D? Of course, the one that enter is called the afferent. The one that exit is afferent. Efferent, so this is going to be afferent arterioles. Vasoconstriction of afferent arterioles and vasodilation of efferent arterioles will cause a blank of glomerular filtration. Contraction of afferents will decrease the filtration. Angiotensins to stimulate vasoconstriction of efferent. And remember, this is the efferent of afferent arterioles, will cause a blank of GFR. So this is in the efferent, then it will be increased. What is the correct order of the three layers of the urethral wall, starting from the innermost layer? A, B, C, or D? Okay, the inner is mucosa, the one outside is adventitia. So it's going to be mucosa muscularis adventitia. What determines the composition of urine? A, B, C, or D? It's going to be the ratio between water and solids that eliminate from the blood. The internal urethral sphincter is A, B, C. Internal will be smooth muscle. The external urethral sphincter is A, B, C. External will be the skeletal muscle. A decrease in plasma calcium ion concentration stimulates the release of A, B, C, or D. So decrease is mean we need hormone that increase it, which is the PTH. An increase of plasma calcium concentration stimulate the release of. So decrease, increase, we need hormone that decrease calcium in the blood, which is calcium. The function of diuretic compound is to A, B, C, D. A is to increase the urine output. That's diuretic. Diuretic means urine production, increase urine production. The hormone called blank secreted by the blank regulate the concentration of sodium and potassium in extracellular muscle. What is that? The one that produces going to be adrenal cortex, and the hormone is called the aldosterone. What is the function of hormones aldosterone? A, B, C, or D? So this is related to sodium and potassium. So mostly it's going to be sodium is the biggest one. So it's going to be promote reabsorption of sodium. What change in fluid concentration leads to water intoxication? A, B, C, or D? This is the hypotonic extracellular fluid. By what mechanism do acid-base buffer system minimize pH changes? A, B, C, or D? A is going to be from strong to weak. So strong acid make it to weak acid. When water output exceeds water intake, what condition will develop? Output is higher than intake. A, B, C, or D? Of course, this is going to be dehydration. During spermatogenesis, what is the end result of meiosis? A, B, C, or D? Meiosis will be 4. So look for sperm with half of the concentration. So 4 with 23 chromosomes. Which of the following male glands secretes a fluid containing fructose, prostaglandin, and other substances that make up the largest portion of the semen? A, B, C. So it's going to be this one, the biggest one over here, that produces almost everything for the semen. What structure is tightly coiled tube that led to the ductus deferens? A, B, C, or D? Coil is epidermis. This is the longest one, and the longest tube in the male duct system. What structure does sperm enter after the ductus deferens? So after ductus deferens, it's going to be ejaculatory duct, and then after that, urethra. The process that involves forcing of semen through the urethra to outside the body is called A, B, C, or D. It is called the ejaculation. What are androgens? A, B, C, or D? Androgen is the same as testosterone. Okay, so what testosterone? Testosterone will be the male sex hormone. What hormone is mainly responsible for the development and maintenance of male secondary sexual characteristic? A, B, C, D, or E? So male is going to be testosterone. Name the cell in the testis that produce male sex hormone. A, B, C, or D? It is called the interstitial or Leydig cells. What hormone is mainly responsible for the development and maintenance of female secondary sexual characteristic? A, B, C, or D? Of course, female will be estrogen. What hormones stimulate the mammary gland to secrete milk? A, B, C, or D? So milk is lactate, so it's going to be this one, prolactin. Ovulation is induced by peak of the secretion of the A, B, C, or D. Ovulation stimulated by LH, luteinizing hormone. A process of releasing the secondary oocyte or eggs from the polar body from the ovary is called A, B, C, or D. Release egg is called ovulation. The endometrium is the inner layer of the A, B, C, or D. Metrium is uterus, so this is the inner layer of uterus. Name the tubular portion of the uterus that extend downward into upper part of the vagina. A, B, C, or D. Okay, the extension of uterus is called the neck or cervix. This is where the cervical cancer is located. A pap smear is used to detect abnormal cell in the A, B, C, or D. I just mentioned cervical cancer in the cervix. Which of the following is a mechanical barrier used by birth control? A, B, C, or D. Mechanical, it's going to be the male condom. A female patient developed genital warts after recent sexual contact. What pathogen has she been exposed to? Wart is virus, which is human papilloma virus. A male patient coming to the clinic with his female partner. He complains of painful burning sensation while urinating. He suspects an STI, sexual transmitted disease or infection, but his partner has no symptom. Which sexual transmitted infection does he most likely have? Right, so it's going to be the gonorrhea. Usually female don't have the symptom for the gonorrhea. What sex chromosome are found in normal male cell? Male cell will have X and Y. Okay, so one X and one Y, XY. The union of secondary oocyte and sperm cell is called, so eggs and sperm is called fertilization. Where does fertilization normally occur? A, B, C, or D? Fertilization is happening in here, in the oviduct or uterine tube, not in the uterus. Which of the following indicates the correct order of phases of development? A, B, C, D. Okay, start with the zygote, and then morula, and then finally newborn. Okay. From which of the following germ layer are blood, reproductive organs, muscle tissue, kidney, and connective tissue formed? Muscle in the middle, kidney in the middle, so it's going to be mesoderm. What blood vessel carries blood from the placenta to the fetus? A, B, C, or D? It is actually vein, umbilical veins. The process of growing old is called A, B, C, or D. Growing old is senescence. Hemophilia A is an X-linked recessive trait, which would be true about the parent of the hemophiliac son. Is X-linked A or B? It's going to be from mother, so the mother should carry the recessive allele. It's called the carrier, so it's coming from the mother. That's all for this exercise. Good luck with your final exam. Thank you very much, and have a good semester break.